Welcome to the Scottsdale Vibes podcast. I'm Alicia Haygood. We are officially moved into our new studio. I am so excited to be here with the one and only Jeremy Mueller of State Farm Insurance.
Thank you so much.
How does it feel?
This feels amazing. I love this.
You haven't said much, which is really funny for you because you're just in awe, I feel like.
You know, I don't get blown away much, but I am blown away. I am honestly, this looks beautiful, and look outside. That's our city.
Yeah,
and,
isn't it great?
Yeah, we have a bird's eye view of everything, and congratulations.
Thank
this is
you.
amazing.
I appreciate it. You know, 2025 is starting off with setting goals. When we last spoke, Jeremy, we talked about finishing up 2024 and everything bigger and better for 2025. That's what we're going for this year.
Yeah, hard to believe. We're a couple weeks in already, right?
It's nuts. I'm done. And it's kind of like the calm before the storm. Everything's happening. We're finishing up with Barrett-Jackson, Waste Management Open, Western Week, Arabian Horse Show, spring training. And then that's like the end of March, what I just mentioned.
Wow.
I just can't believe it.
Yeah, don't blink. It goes quick in
It
this
really
town.
does. It really does. Well, let's start. How were the holidays and everything for you guys?
You know, really good. We're dealing with some of the California stuff right now.
Oh, I didn't
so a
think
lot
about that.
of California fire activity. But other than that, really good, and glad they're over. I'm
Yeah.
excited for January, excited to be in Scottsdale, and just excited to see what the city has this year.
Let's talk about that for a second, because you and I have talked about fire insurance in the past. We've had some brush fires. We were just talking before we started recording about how dry we have been lately and the lack of rain. Let's prepare for ourselves here. What should we do insurance-wise, prepare a house-wise, and all that kind of stuff, since, you know, California is so close at heart to many of us.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't think Los Angeles could be up in flames,
Literally
right?
burned
I mean,
out,
that
yeah.
could be Phoenix. It's all about fire mitigation right now. So doing that debris clearance, having that firewall, all that, especially in North Scottsdale, just cleaning all that dead grass, because everything's dead right now.
Yeah.
So the city has done a good job about maintaining some of the roads. If you see a lot of it, you see a lot of trucks cleaning up debris right now. But residentially, you know, you just kind of take care of your own property, make that firewall. You'd be surprised at what that does. Okay. And so there are some steps you can do. Just talk to your landscaper about making sure, you know, your perimeter, especially if you are surrounded by natural open space, which a lot of us are in North Scottsdale, that you clear that.
Get ready for it. It's so important because we forget about it until it's too late sometimes.
Well,
right?
that's insurance, right? We get the call when the house is burning down,
Right.
right? Do I have enough? Well, the time to do that is before.
It was like yesterday before we got everything on fire. Listen, let's talk about the fire that's about to happen in the city. We're about to blow up. I mean, let's be real. We're about to have our busiest season coming up. You and I talk about the open. We love it. It's a great time for us. It was crazy is an understatement for last year. We'll just leave it at that. What are you excited about for this year? Because you're a local boy here. I mean, you've been experiencing this forever. What are you excited about for this year? And I know that as you and I mature in life, we'll call it, our days of going are different. Our terms of fun are different. What does the open look like?
Yeah,
for you,
like
though?
I've got kids that go, so I'm like worried about them, right?
Right,
So
seriously.
it is one of those things. I am looking forward to what the Thunderbirds are putting on this year. I think some of the plans and what the city is doing is ultimately going to be a good thing, curbing some of the over excessiveness, making sure pathways are cleared, all that. And then the other entrance they're opening up, which will be huge as well. So now we have 3 entrances there instead of just the 1.5, I call it.
I was a 1.5.
Yeah.
You're right.
So I think ultimately it'll be a good thing.
I do too.
And it's so important for the city. They do so much for charity that we need it to be a good thing, and we need it to get back in the public's eye of what it is, what it's there for. Not just, yes, it's a big party, but it's not what it was last year.
I think I read that, what was it, $270 million they raised last year or something like that.
It's an amazing number.
That's huge.
Like, it is,
and it all stays here. Yeah. Along with the open comes we just finished up with Barrett-Jackson, then we have Arabian Horse Show, and like we were saying, the spring training after that. What are you most excited about? Do you kind of avoid something or anything like that with all these events?
I think it's good. It's a good commercial for Scottsdale. I mean, Scottsdale is the place where everyone wants to stay, so it's a good commercial. So let's hope we have some good weather. Diamondbacks look real good this
Yeah.
year, so that should be kind of fun to. I think the spring training is going to be off the charts for
Yeah.
them this year. Just coming off a couple good seasons, so it'll be fun.
You're a huge music guy. You love going to concerts and stuff like that. Are you going to any of the shows here at the Open coming up?
Not sure yet. Stay tuned. To be determined.
Listen, that Blake Shelton with Stefani will be good.
That'll be a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lots of good names coming in. All right, before we leave, where can we find you? What do we need to do to prepare for 2025 with you?
It's a good wake-up call. California is a big wake-up call.
Mm-hmm.
So what we're doing right now is we are getting inundated. I cannot tell you how many emails and phone calls we're getting, making sure you are up to date on everything.
Good.
So just making sure, looking at that insurance policy and making sure it's updated. A lot of people have had their house 20 years. And if you're not updating that and you don't let your agent know, or you just want to make sure everything's keeping up to date.
I love it.
This will not help building costs in Scottsdale.
No, it's not.
So building costs will not be going down.
They're only going to go up like everything
They are
else.
only going to go up.
I know, just in time to buy a house, I say.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get ready for the Open and everything else. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to have David Folio of Scottsdale Fire to tell us about all the changes in security and how to get there safely and have a great time. Stay tuned. When it comes to protecting you, your family, and all your assets, you need to have someone that you can trust, and that's Jeremy Mueller of State Farm Insurance. Jeremy Mueller has lived in Scottsdale his whole life. How can anyone else know your needs more than someone who's been here and seen it all? Jeremy and his team are always ranked in the top % at State Farm. He cares, he's knowledgeable, and most importantly, he's always available. Don't believe me? Give him a call at 480-515-5223 or find him at jeremymueller.com. Let's be real. One of the greatest events in Scottsdale, really the nation, even if you're not a golf fan, is about to go down. It is officially Waste Management Phoenix Open Get Ready Week. We're finishing up Barrett-Jackson and everything else, and now we have to get ready for that. But for anyone that was here last year knows not quite smooth sailing happened. So we're going to sit down this year to talk with Dave Foley of Scottsdale Fire about all the changes coming. So get ready, because there are some significant changes that you need to prepare for. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll have Dave Foley at the table with me. It is time to tee up for the Greenest Show on grass. The Waste Management Phoenix Open is about to go down February 3rd through 9th. Last year, it rained. Last year, people used their general admission tickets on the 2 days that it did not rain. We made national news for not all the amazing, great fundraising events that the Thunderbirds did, but for some of the chaos. So I'm excited this year to have Dave back at the table with us to talk about all the changes, to be prepared, be ready, because we are about to go. So I thank you for coming in, because I know it is like go time, crunch time for you guys.
Absolutely.
I mean, we have to talk about the negative to get to all the positive that happened. Last year was crazy. It was chaotic. I know that you guys did the best you could. Thank you for all you did, because it's not fun. I watched on the news and was glad I was not there.
Yeah.
But you know what? With that comes lessons learned where we can make some changes.
Absolutely.
And let's talk about those, because there is a lot going on this year that is different from all the years past.
Yeah. So after every event, and thank you for having me. What a great studio you've got. Every year we sit down and there's no rank or seniority at our after action report. And what amazing is, and I'll take you a little behind the scenes of public safety, because we sit in a unified command with Pro-Am, the Thunderbirds, which are huge, as you know, they're the sponsor,
Yeah.
WM Phoenix Open, the WM Waste Management, all the players, PGA Security, players, hosts, all that. We sit in a room, and this year, what's amazing is when we came back into that room, nobody blamed the weather. Not one person in that room said, we knew we had significant weather. We had wind, we had rain, but we planned for all of that. That's a year-long planning. And most of those command officers in those command centers had multiple years on. I mean, we've been doing this for 20 plus years. So this is our signature event. And Mother Nature brought a little bit of rain. For me, it's no different than any other year. There's a lot of people. This is the most attended event probably in the United States. The next one is probably the Indianapolis 500, believe it or not, because they bring in about 300,000+. So we've always said we double our population within the footprint of the Open. So there's plans in place. There's plans in place to evacuate. All of that is in place. What was great was the Thunderbirds right off the bat said, let's make this better, not bigger, which was way, I mean, there was some of I'll never forget a command officer on the side was saying, you know, there's little things that we could tweak, like the running of the people in the morning on to the 16th hole, because they want to get there to get the general admission tickets. Well, we had identified a choke point in that area where bathrooms were put. So once the bathrooms were put, we probably should have removed them, but we didn't. So those are little things that everybody had an input on that. And right from the get-go, everything that was recommended. The biggest thing that was recommended was add another entrance. They're saying it's our second entrance. It's really the third entrance, because we have an entrance, the main one, right?
Yeah.
And then we have a second entrance at the Princess where you can come in. So this will be our third entrance, and it's going to be off of Frank Lloyd Wright and Hayden. Hayden's going to be completely shut down, which I think we probably should have done 10 years ago, because
no one was listening to you back then, Dave?
No, I mean, it's one of these things too where you don't want to make huge changes, but we knew the Thunderbirds knew that some changes needed to be made. Public safety wise, we want to get people into the venue. We want to be able to handle the incident within the incident. And then, just allocating our resources within that footprint to properly manage the flow of traffic along with PD. SPD, we work hand in hand with SPD in this planning. So what we did was we brought up suggestions. It's no secret that the any day ticket general admission kind of, nobody came Monday through Wednesday, Thursday because of the cold and the wetness. Well, they all wanted to come Friday and Saturday, so they showed up. They showed up, and we're ready to have a good time. Sometimes we forget that there's a golf tournament going on, but they raise a tremendous amount of money.
They did a great job.
But coming back to the behind the scenes, we laid out some steps. Well, to implement all these changes that we made, you can't just do that, because there's infrastructure in place to get service to 16, 18. You got to restock those venues almost every night. So
listen, I was in a chokehold right there by the 16th where the golf cart literally got stuck and could not do anything. And they were lifting the stuff over the crowd to try to get into the 16th. And everyone's like, move, move. And he's like, love to.
Yeah, so one of the suggestions was widen that area.
Yes.
Widen that area, widen some of the paths. So that is all being done this year. It's already done. I've been out there taking pictures and looking at it. And then, one of the things was we want to make, the Thunderbirds have always said they want to make the experience for the fan better and for the players. It's really important for player security and safety, along with us, the safety of every fan that shows up at that event. So the third entrance, like I said, you used to be able to share ride would come in and drop off there.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask. Yeah, how is that going to work now? Where's the shared ride going? And I am concerned. I know I'm not the first to think of this. People just park on the side of the road by Hayden or something like that to come in that entrance. Yeah,
there's gonna be more patrols. I've heard PD talking about that. There'll be more patrols. You won't be able to pull down Hayden.
Okay.
So we'll have a way for the players that can come in from the north to the south into the clubhouse, obviously, because you got to be able to get the players into the clubhouse in and out. But the traffic on Hayden Road will completely be shut down from Frank Lloyd Wright down to about Bell Road, I think it is, where they turn into the clubhouse.
Yeah.
That gives us people can park in some across from Frank Lloyd Wright. They can walk in, and it gives them a direct path into 18. They'll enter off into 18 tee box right there, and they're widening that. And then they can go right to 16, 17, some of the most popular venues, so they don't have to come through the front entrance. So that'll alleviate a lot of means of egress and people getting in for us. So that was huge. But
let's talk about the GA tickets. That's a big deal and change this year too.
It was. And I think it'll help though. Like if they've said make it better, not bigger. So that's important for us to, we can get more accurate numbers of people that are going to show up on that day, because they'll know how many they've sold or let go or whatever the case might be. So it'll help us. And once again, once we're inside the footprint, it's a city within a city for us. We even have to, 16's 3 restaurants on itself, right? Because you got to feed 12, 13, 14,000 people there. So we've got large cooking stations on the backside. So we strategically placed one of our fire engines over there. And a lot of thing too is, think about this. There's not fire hydrants in the middle of the golf course,
I
right?
never thought about that because
So,
it's not my job
I know,
too.
but we have, because what if we get one of those structures that catch on fire? You know, we have to be able to have a water supply to hit that. So we've staged strategically staged an engine on that backside, and then we have actual pumps down by the CAP. We did a story on this last year, so it's no secret that, and then run pipe up the hill then gives us a fire hydrant. So we can pull from the CAP. So they've been great partners to allow us to do that. So we have 2 of those set up throughout the course.
I've only been here 5-6 years. Has there ever been a fire?
There hasn't.
Okay. I know.
There hasn't. Yeah, there hasn't. Because of our fire and life safety and our prevention department, they get in there, they hang the signs. There are no smoking venues. They have fire extinguishers all throughout the venue.
Okay.
And then they actually make sure that they treat a lot of the material that's hung up separate from that. It has to be fire rated, treated. So our fire and life safety people are busy right now. This is our signature event.
Yeah.
Our first signature event's this week. Barrett Jackson starts Friday. So this isn't new to us. We have major signature events, and we're just so thankful for the partnership, one, of the Thunderbirds willing to work with us, and we had to work with them. It's all about all of us coming to to get the job done.
It's not even that. I mean, you have Homeland Security, you have fire and police from all over the valley.
Yeah.
By the way, there's still other calls coming in because people are still living their life that y'all have to attend to as well. Talk about this, because it is such a major team effort when it comes to the security and safety of this one event that you put together.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why it's a year-long planning. It's all hands on deck for us, for the Scottsdale Fire Department and the police department, and then some of the outside agencies. So PD pulls more of their from other departments. We actually staff this with all of our people. So they sign up for overtime. They come and work the event. And like you said, we still have to staff the city. The fire trucks and the ambulances are still running. So it's all hands on deck. We know that every year that it's coming. And a lot of people, quite honestly, come work for us because they know we have a great city, great events, and you get to highlight them and showcase them. It's pretty amazing. Back to some of the changes too. So we've talked about that other entrance, and then they've also changed the venue. What our ultimate goal would be push people out, because a lot of people like to hang out by 18, 16, 17. It seems like those are the cool venues. They've got a really cool venue out by Desert Oasis.
No, don't tell anyone about that, because that's where I hang out by myself.
Well, yeah.
And it's so nice because you have bleachers, you have seats, you have a bar out there. It's in the back. You are so close to the golfers. It's great. Thank you for telling everyone my secret hideout.
Wait till you see it this year.
So
you remember how you'd get there and you'd have to go up? So it kind of deterred people from going up. They took off about 12 feet of actual elevation.
Wow.
They took dirt out of there and they leveled it and made it a better experience now.
Okay.
So you can see that backside, whatever hole that is. I think it's 9. You can see 11. You can see them coming up to 15. It is an amazing view out there. I hope people go out and enjoy it. And it's general admission. It's free to get into that venue.
And they started a tent area for the 9th hole that's new now this year as well. So that can be added to it. Yeah.
Absolutely. So people are going to see changes. It's going to be noticeable. And they put an elevated walkway for the players, so you'll see them come out. In the afternoon, when the leaders would tee off, they would have to walk through that fan experience. It was just a rough going for them. So they've added an elevator walkway. They'll come out of the clubhouse. They'll be able to walk over by that ninth tent that they added, right down to the putting green where they can practice, and the driving range so they can practice before they start, and then they can walk back. And then there's still opportunities too where they can high five people, sign autographs. So that's super cool. But from a public safety standpoint, all these changes are tremendous for us. We're looking forward to it.
I know we keep saying better, not bigger, because we're doing the GA tickets individually. Is that going to decrease the crowd size?
So they're going electronic on a lot of their tickets too.
Okay.
I don't know how much. That would be a question for the Thunderbirds, but a lot of their tickets are going electronic too. So it'll give them a better way to count and to know their numbers. So a lot of those will be, and I don't know the thing, but it kicks off with the concert in the Coliseum.
Let's talk about that. That's amazing. A whole nother issue. I mean, y'all are
Gwen Stefani and Blake Shelton are coming in for that. So that kind of kicks off this whole thing. And, You know, and then the big thing too is they, you know, even after last year, there's still find some way to give away $14.7 million to charities, and just for Arizona. So it's amazing. It's a huge party. It's a huge golf tournament. Our people look forward to working it every year. It's a fun event. But yeah, so knock on wood, you know, let's have great weather. Like if it was today where it's cool in the morning, you wear layers and then you take it off. Because I'm constantly reminding people, right, wear the proper shoes because it's different elevations. There's curbs. It's a golf course. Don't wear the high heels, which gets me in trouble, but whatever. Wear the tennis shoes so I don't give you a Band-Aid 5 minutes later because you got a blister. I tried to tell you. And then wear comfortable clothing and, you know, bring a charged cell phone. Everybody that comes out has to have a plan. In case they get separated, bag policy. They got to have a plan when they come there. In case they get separated, they can find their friends. And of course, there's so many options for share ride. That'll come out of WestWorld. Again, you can take a share ride there, take a bus over, take a bus back. And
that's what we do.
And then they'll have a ton of share ride in there to be able to get out of there.
Yeah, it's so easy. That's exactly what we do. We go to WestWorld, catch the bus, and then go up that way, and then come back. It's easy peasy. You don't have to worry about anything.
Yeah.
With everything that's going on, what are you most excited about for this Open because of all the changes? And I think they're so positive and needed.
I hope to see that new entrance we added. I hope, you know, I think it'll take some time for people to realize that it's over there. I hope it eliminates a lot of the lines because, you know, people, when you think about when you and I get to an event, right, we just want to get in because we've spent that money and we get in. So it'll allow us to get people in and out quicker. We still have our plans in place if we have to have, you know, a blowout gate here and there to let people out. The widening of the cart paths and stuff so people can move around a little freely. And then that added venue, I really hope to see that people would go out there and enjoy that. It's a free location that they can go to, you know, and then obviously, so another thing that we do too on those, it's starting Thursday, Friday, Saturdays, we do an alternative care tent. So meaning for what? Us, meaning we know those will be the higher volume days where people show up. So it's a tent that we've set up with Mayo, Honor Health. We've got our medical director and some of our paramedics in there. So if you're intoxicated and you're having a medical condition, we can put you in there. You can see a doctor. You can see a nurse.
Nice.
We can treat you. So that's along Hayden Road.
Okay.
So it gives us a way to bring about, you know, so we don't have to send people out. We can treat them in there, release them to a driver, a designated driver, and get them home safely. Because that's also a time where we don't want to load all these people into our hospitals because our hospitals are busy right now with the flu and stuff like that.
That makes sense.
And then throughout the venue, you see medical tents set up. Those are ran by Mayo, nurses, doctors. So if you ever have a problem, we've got one at the clubhouse, first hole, 16th hole, 10th hole. So you'll see them around the venue if you need us.
Makes sense.
Our goal is we're on bike teams, medic carts, walking teams in every venue. So our goal is if you were to have a heart attack that we're to you within probably 1 to 2 minutes. And most of the time it's less than that.
I was going to say less than. I don't think I've ever walked around and not seen an officer of some kind in eye shot anywhere at any point.
So and the current climate we're in, see something, say something. No, don't hesitate. If you see something out of place, you just don't feel comfortable with it, or you think you know, something's not right. If you see something, say something this year to anybody, because once again, we all sit in that unified command. There's a huge room like this that we all sit in, and the information gets relayed quickly. When the decision was made last year to stop the alcohol sales on that day, I was actually in the command center, and the command officer had been doing this for a long time. It was amazing for me to see from a fire standpoint that was done probably within a matter of 5 minutes. The alcohol sales had stopped. And talking to people too, so that plan was in place. We did that because it immediately started relieving people out of the venue, which helped us. So I know it was a huge thing on social media, but there's plans in place. You got to trust us that this isn't our first time doing this. You know, and unfortunately, just social media ran with some of the pictures and some of that stuff, but that's past us. This is going to be bigger, better, like the smaller. I don't know. It's going to be great. I'm excited. I'm really looking forward to.
What is your favorite Waste Management Phoenix Open vibe? Like a memory or vibe or anything? Probably
I get to go from there over to the Bird's Nest where they do the concerts at night. That's I still get to work at that venue. I go over and do some media with, some of the news channels, and then I get to actually stay around and see some of the concerts.
Yeah.
So that's cool. And then just people watching like everybody else, right? If the weather's
It's
great,
the
there's
best
great
time.
people watching. And we get to meet our community that has supported us throughout the years.
Yeah.
They give us a 98% approval rating because, hopefully we do a really good job, and we get to meet and greet people while we're out there.
I love to hear that. That's
and
good.
you'll see us, and our bike teams are out there, our walking teams. So just interacting with people.
Listen, 2 years ago, a Scottsdale police was out on the 16th hole just doing a soundbite, and that's where the hole-in-one happened, right? All the things that y'all get to see and experience.
Yeah, I've never
too.
heard the end of that. Sergeant Kwan got that. Yeah, it's.
Wasn't gonna say
so now
anything.
I hide in that little hole, I film everyone, hoping it'll happen, so I can go
gonna
viral
happen to
too.
you. No, it's not going to happen. Really quick, you did say if you say something, say something. I did last year, actually. I saw something happening. I went up to 2 officers to tell them and stuff like that. And they're like, actually, we've been paying attention and saw it. So that made me feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Number one, that they already knew about it and that they were everywhere and had their eyes on it.
Yeah, so another story we did last year, it's the elephant's out of the bag. We have monitors on most of all of our firefighters are carrying, the teams are carrying meters. It's picking up radiological, it's picking up those type of air devices for, we have the cooking stations, CO meters and all that type of stuff. So that is something that people will see, gives us a chance to, I think we had 37 contacts last year that it went off, and it ended up being
really
somebody.
not that much.
Well, and it ended up being like cancer patient where they just had some treatment, so nuclear testing treatment, and it actually picked that up. So just so you know, that's out there. We have those on us. So just another added piece. We bring in not National Guard, but a division of them for hazmat, because we can't handle the whole thing with our hazmat crews. So we have teams out there with that. So it's an all hands on deck, and we pull from, like you said, federal, local, state resources to get this done.
I love it. Well, thank you guys for seriously all that you do, because we get to go have fun and enjoy ourselves and not worry, because you guys are doing all the hard work, and ladies too. I know you have a bunch of ladies on the team, so thank you. Stay tuned. When we get back, we'll have the calendar of events, but don't forget, go buy your tickets now. You are buying for day of, so pay attention to what you buy. You can't just go any day. Be prepared and be ready, and most importantly, have an awesome time. Stay tuned. We'll have the calendar of events coming up next. Buying a home can be scary and sometimes frustrating, but all of that can go away with the right realtor. And that's where Sean Shackleton with the Shackleton Group is here for you. Sean has over 25 years experience in real estate. She's here to get you what you want and won't settle for less. She's experienced, knowledgeable, and understands this market, which these days is always changing. Take the stress out of your next home purchase by calling Sean at 480-734-7277. You can also find her at theshackletongroup.com. All right, as we just heard from Dave Foley, go get your tickets February 3rd through 9th. There's actually some still tickets left for the Bird's Nest as well for those concerts. I'm at the age where I cannot do both in one day, so we usually do the open one day and maybe a concert the next or something like that. But it's a good time. Clear bag policy. Wear comfortable shoes. I cannot express that enough. Be diligent and be prepared. And just most importantly, have fun. I would love to see you all out there. Western Week is happening right now. Lots going on, so check the calendar of events for that. We have the link in the description of this episode. You will get to see the Pony Express happening on Friday, January 31st at 12 p.m. sharp. Really cool event if you've never been, followed by the Parada del Sol on that Saturday. So it's another event that the community loves to get out to support the westernmost western town. And of course, right after that, we have the Arabian Horse Show. So it is our 70th anniversary, sure to be bigger and better than years past. It really does bring in horses and horse aficionados from all over the world. So we're going to have them on an episode coming up. But in the meantime, go get your tickets for that. Have a wonderful week, Scottsdale. Keep vibing, and I'll see you around town.